Hey guys, it's me, Lily. And today I am doing a part 2 to my nose piercing video. Instead of a pros and cons, this is a Q&A. I'm answering my most asked questions. If you want to see the video of me getting my nose pierced, I'll put it in the link down below. And if you would like to see my basic pros and cons and how I cared for it, I will also put the link to that video down below. If you would like to see the advice on my cartilage piercing, I'll put that in the link down below. And if you would like to see how I did my stick and poke, I will put that in the link down below. I guess I kind of assume that if you want your nose pierced, that's like a lot of the other stuff people always come looking for. So all of those are going to be in the links down below. The number one question I got asked was, what side is it on? I know it's confusing because I do sometimes use my front camera and then sometimes I use the back camera because I film with my phone. It's actually on the right side of my face because, as awful as this sounds, I think that this side of my face is much more symmetrical than this side. I feel like when I pose on this side, it just looks really wonky because this eye, I don't know, I don't like that side of my face. I prefer this side, so yeah, right side of my face. Till how long could you wear makeup, or how long did it take for your nose piercing to heal? I avoided wearing makeup around my nose, like the whole area, for I would say about 3 months at the least. You just want to do your best to prevent it getting infected because you could take care of it a lot and it can still get infected. I would say about 6 months to a year till you can just put as much makeup on there as you want and take the piercing out and chill without it. Now I can go a week without it in, or I actually went like 6 months. I don't want to say 6 months, probably 4 months without it in because of cheerleading season. How do you prevent getting a bump? There were a lot of comments in my last video explaining that I had a keloid. However, I'm not sure if that's true. Keloids do tend to leave scars, and mine never left a scar, and there's no bump anymore because it completely healed up. So I would say that, like I said, I mixed in a aspirin pill, I crushed it up, poured in a little bit of water and then a little bit of salt, I believe, and then you mix it so it's a thick paste. You put it on your nose. After 3 days, you leave that on overnight. It should be gone, and that's how long it took for my bump to go away. How did you convince your parents? So I guess in my culture, I'm Malaysian and Irish, and there's a lot of people in Malaysia with their nose pierced, and it's not a very against thing, I would say, in Asia. I feel like it's pretty common having your nose pierced, at least in that part of Asia. It's different for different families. If your parents say no, just wait till you're 18. Don't go behind their back and do it. You're just gonna get a really bad infection, and don't go behind your parents' backs. Once again, how much time did it take to heal? After a year, I could take it out and just leave it out for a month and then put it back in and it would be fine. And I would say after a year, it's fully healed. But after 6 months, I would say it's mainly healed. I would still keep the jewelry in is what I would recommend. However, you just need to you wouldn't have to be careful, and you wouldn't have to continuously clean it all the time. How sensitive your skin is and how long it takes your ears to heal, stuff like that all has a very big impact. As long as you know that it's still in its healing process, just as many precautions you can take to avoid it getting infected is what you want to do. How easy is it to take it in and out? It's actually really easy, and I can do it on camera, but I feel like that's a little bit weird. But this is a really easy jewelry to take in and out because it's very thin. I'm not sure how many millimeters it is. And that's the hoop. So this is the hoop that was in my nose. That's the little ball at the end because I feel like it's easy. I just dropped it. So this is my nose without a nose piercing in it. It's a little bit red just because I took it out. It is just a little dot. It's really not that noticeable. People always say, oh no, you're gonna have a hole in your nose one day. Why would you want to get that? But I don't think that people ever notice it because when I wear it, It doesn't feel any different. I breathe the same, and no one has actually ever asked about it when it's not in there. How do you clean your nose piercing? I've explained this in my other video, how you clean it. You just soak it in salt water. If you can't get your nose in a cup, you can soak a cotton ball into the salt water solution and then soak it on your nose. But I think that's only for like the first 6 months. After that, it's not really doing anything as long as your nose piercing has mainly healed. Then it's more about keeping it clean. I just take like a cotton swab with alcohol. I'll clean it every now and then. I always clean the jewelry before I put it back in my nose because it can get dirty by touching like a table or stuff like that and collect dust, and you just don't want that in your nose. Like, that's kind of gross. How painful was it? It was not that painful. I really don't think so. I have experienced ear piercings that were more painful in my opinion. I also have a high pain tolerance, so I'm not sure if that plays a large role. I do feel like my cartilage piercing was significantly more painful than that. And I think it causes your eyes to water a lot because it's so close to your tear ducts. However, it doesn't like feel very painful, and it's really instantaneous. How long was it swollen? I don't remember swelling at all, actually. Like, it's not something that pops into my mind. I'm sure there was a little bit of swelling, but I really don't remember much, so I'm not helpful in that department. I'm sorry. Someone asked me what's the difference between a piercing with a needle versus a piercing with a gun. I don't know everything. I'm 16 years old, again. Don't attack me. However, I am very pro piercing with needles and anti-piercing with guns. I did get my first, like, my lobes pierced with a gun, and I also got my doubles pierced with a gun because I got it done at Claire's, which is a jewelry store in California. I don't know if it's all around the US or international, but it's a jewelry store in California, and I got it pierced with a gun there, and nothing happened. It healed fine. It was fine. However, I don't think you should get a nose piercing pierced with a gun, a cartilage piercing, or a helix piercing with a gun, or any other piercings that involve cartilage instead of just skin with a gun. The only reason I think it's okay to get a lobe piercing with a gun is because there's no damage that would be caused. However, I read about how damaging guns can be and how they can cause scars and how they can inflame like the tissue, and they can just really irritate your cartilage by piercing with a gun because of the way that it breaks the skin and the way it breaks tissue rather than a needle. So I'm not an expert on that. However, I do encourage you guys to research if you're interested on it. There is a lot of stuff about how piercing with a gun is a lot more dangerous than piercing with a needle. So I would definitely recommend you guys to do your own research on that and quote or fact check me, please. That's it for my video. I hope you guys learned a bit more, and I really hope I answered your guys' main questions about my nose piercing. Feel free to ask more questions. I'll probably make a third video in a year. So I'll let you guys know, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.